have the pilot bearing that came in. I have 2 bolts to replace some of the bracketry bolts. Some paint markers I can use to mark things with. And I did order a sensor for this. It came in, it was the wrong threading. So returned that one, ordered a different one, and that one's coming in. But I think I can at least get this in the car, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I have really thick gloves on right now. And I think I can put that sensor in with it still in the car. So right now, we need to get the flywheel, which is freshly machined. Get the pilot bearing in it and then torque it down on the back of the engine. My brain's slowed down. I do not have any caffeine in me right now, so tonight might be a little full of me just being quiet and tired. It has some WD-40 on it. I'm just trying to wipe off any excess that might still be on it so it doesn't get slung around. I think it's around 40 degrees right now, so yeah, it's kind of chilly. I have like Wolverine socks on right now, so I should be fine. I have 3 fingers and little parts. I don't know how well this spine was thought through. 1 inch, it looks like. Alright, cool. And this just gets pressed in there. I think there's like a very small lip. Back it off slightly and check. Gonna give it a very small, little smidge more. That should be good. Then we'll clean this surface once we have it in there, I think. That way, yeah, well, that way. There we go. I might turn on the heater a little later, but it really doesn't do much unless I'm sitting on top of it. Nothing's going to be drying real fast and it's cold right now. So this will go in. Start with 1. I think we're going to, I think blue Loctite would work fine. 19. Flywheel, 71. Does it need sealant on it? Like, does it need a seal? I think it does, actually. Okay. In that case, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to put a good amount of blue on it and maybe a little bit of this at the very tip or something. So about 75 foot-pounds for the flywheel and 14 to 19 for the clutch pack. So that should be about 75 foot-pounds. Now we get to lay down on the cold ground. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get transmission and back in here with this still here. It might prove to be difficult, if not impossible, so yeah. I'm just going to get one in there so it holds it. Okay. I forgot to get something to rest my head on, so will this work? So put a little bit of regular sealant on the very end of it. Blue, it's just gonna be fine on it. Let's see, do I have my long thingamabob? Ooh, ground's cold. I don't realize how cold it is until you get it off of it. Alright, so maybe if I wedge this in here. It's underwhelming. Let's see if I have any more cleaner. Guess we should do more of the delicate work with more dexterity. Tiny bit. That's probably the very last bit I got. And go on the splines here. Okay, and I believe the flat side would go towards the flywheel. Yep. Which will also need this surface cleaned. Actually, before I do all that, let me do this first. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to try to shift through the gears a little bit before putting it in there. So I'm gonna try to fill it up. I'm just gonna pour, I think, one in here, slush it around real good, and then see if I can switch to gears, which means this will be open still. So, let's make a funnel. Arts and crafts time. There we go. Into the funnel. Alright, so for now, I'm gonna cap this off and then slush it around. So I gotta keep in mind these are still open areas here. It's also a good chance to check to see if there's any leaks in the front. What I really want to test is if it will go into reverse. Don't see any leaks in here. Leaks. Fourth gear seems to be lined up pretty well. That might be third gear, I'm not entirely sure if it goes all the way in or not. Unfortunately, I can't move that around like I want to. That might be reverse. I felt like it's in. So, yeah, I think we're good. Once we get more oil in there and it's spinning around and slushing around, it'll get into synchro rings and be smoother to shift in. I don't want to force it though right now. So put this off to the side for now. Try to install the clutch. 14 to 19 foot-pounds. These are 14. And I think I'll add a drop of blue on them. Oh, back under we go. Sorry about that. Camera battery died. Or actually, no, it didn't die. Camera glitched out. Battery was almost dead though, so I went ahead and swapped it out. Okay, now it's a magic sandwich time. That might work. Or it might fall on my head. Who knows? Clutch disc goes in. We have a key thing. Go in that hole too. Hold it together. Okay. Then we have the other part of the sandwich. I'm gonna put a dab of thread locker on it. It's a lock washer. So that's how it keeps from backing out then. I wonder if I got some material in the holes from the machine shop. I think he said he took out 15 thou, which is about half of the maximum the instructions recommend. He also said there was quite a little bit of warping to it, or a lip. I mean, not a warp, a lip. So good thing we got it resurfaced, I guess. The flywheel, that is. Okay, then I think we tighten them down evenly. I'm gonna make sure this has play in it. Yeah, this feels like the end of it. So that should be about 17 foot-pounds. That should be correct. Let me check it by hand. My fingers are getting cold. I say that's good as long as, yep, that still slides in and out nice and easy. Is that leaking or is that just dripping from cleaner earlier? Better know now than later. Oh. might be a problem. Was it only leaking because it was sticking out like that, or? See how this, oh wow. That just gushed right out. That might put this entire thing on hold. Which, yeah, it's leaking pretty bad. Bummer. And this would be the easiest way to replace it, is to break it off there, put a new one on, bleed it out. Actually, probably reinstall and then bleed it out. Can I still put the transmission in and easily reach this later? All these brackets on this one side. Tuck that aside somewhere. It feels like I could tuck it somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure. Don't know which side of the wire harness is supposed to go on, but it was on this side. Well, at least the clutch is on. I haven't even got to the part where I'm not even entirely sure the transmission will go in because of this. Be careful about the drive shaft. Tight space. I'm tired. I'm cold. I don't know. Don't know why some of these have sealants on them. Oh, it's cold. I'm gonna leave these out. Leave these out. Let's see. I'm gonna try to get this in there tonight, or at least sitting in there. I'm gonna have to replace the slave clutch cylinder, or the master, whatever it is down here, because that one's leaking. At least I hope I can still reach it with it in there. We'll find out. I wish I had a transmission jack. That would make this easier. So I want to be able to, I'll see if this one can lift this at all. Let me switch to warmer gloves. Just barely okay. I really miss being able to put a light on my head. Oh yeah, that made a huge mess. And this is why I have this bag of used towels. So I can just dump that in there and then soak stuff up. Yeah, there's no way to shove that in there. All right. So that means I have to remove the rusty exhaust. I don't know how much of that you guys could see, but I hope it was entertaining. We have this one here. And we have this stuff here. And this. And let's see if we can break stuff without breaking it. Some pen trip. Paper towel. What else do we need? Heat. We have heat. I do have heat. Yeah, the cold ground really just saps all the warmth right out of you. So I'm gonna take a guess that the nut is welded on. But that's just a guess. I don't really know. That sensor is connected. That's a long enough cord, not concerned. Alright, well, what size is that? So I got 2 of the 3 bolts off that piece of the exhaust. Working on getting the last one out. Oh, I need some kind of insulation from the ground. That's cold. Please do not fall on my head or face. I don't know what all fell, but stuff just fell. Let's go washer. Oh, and a gasket. And the connector for this is all the way up there. There. Set this one. Yep. Maybe. Okay. So these are the silly things you get hung up on. There it goes. Okay, then what's this? Some kind of clamp thing that was holding that in. And this goes behind that and all that, so between the engine and the parts there. Okay, should be able to pull it out now. That was a lot of effort for this piece. Emissions doesn't matter for this, it's over 20 years old. What does matter is that was part of the seal for the side, I think. What does matter is that it still has the cat in it. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if the light's on as far as I know. What matters is if they see the cat in there and it doesn't look like it's been tampered with. And then safety. There's a safety inspection, but yeah. Alright, so now that's out of the way. I'm gonna scuff up that surface, put a little bit of WT on it, and then I think I can try sliding the transmission in again. So I think I'll order a WDs just to keep it from rusting any further. But I think I'm gonna order a new seal gasket for that piece here. I think the bolts are fine. That cardboard makes a world of a difference. Don't have the heat getting sapped out of me as quickly. Hardware. Alright, so I might replace this so it's less likely to leak when I reinstall it. The rest of the hardware should be fine. Rusty, but fine. Alright, take whatever this is. Huh. Well, if it's not going to spin, then I can't put it in there. That's crazy. It was spinning by hand when I took it out. Is it just too cold? That's not good. Alright, let me grab a shifter. Alright, that should be neutral. point did this stop spinning? There it goes. It's just really stiff. That was really hard to turn though. It makes me nervous. Something else might be wrong. Yeah, something's not right. It shouldn't be this stiff. Man. I'd like to work this back and forth a little bit, see if it's just something tight in there, or... So we have a shaft here that should free spin on this piece, especially in neutral. There's only one bearing for that here, and then the inside bearing there. So it does spline up with the intermediary shaft. And it's permanently splined up with that. So if those two don't spin, I'm curious if I messed something up with this front cover. And do I take this front end off again and take a look? Because if there's something wrong, it would be with this side, I would imagine. I would have to reseal it again, which would mean, well, I guess it's not going back in the car tonight anyways if there's something wrong. You know what? All right. It's not going in. Let's inspect it. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, that was put on pretty nicely, actually. Cool. Well, good to know that went on well. Oh, now it spins fine. Well, I'm glad it's something very simple. So what I think happened is it pushed down on this ring here. Or maybe this one even. Because this has very tight clearance around here. Actually, this outer one wouldn't matter. The instructions do call for you to replace both rings. Or maybe I just... I'd like over tighten it maybe. It was definitely this part that's causing issue. You know what? I'd replace the seal. I did mar up some of the inside here. I wonder if that's colliding with this snap ring. I really hope it's not that snap ring. I wish there was an easy way to tell. Did I over tighten it? Hard to imagine that'd be the problem. Yes, it just doesn't seat in all the way. Let's remove the big snap ring and see if it seats in all the way. The outer snap ring. Now does this fit up nicely? Arguably no. What on earth would keep it from? Definitely stiffer. A lot stiffer. So it's definitely the top side, which would mean it's the inner ring or the seal or both. So something's not happy over here. I think the problem is with this piece. So I did mar up some of these surfaces quite a bit when I was putting it back together, and the seal I ended up putting in here is different from the seal I got in the kit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little bit of research, because that's the only thing I can think of. If this is meshing up against that snap ring, and that pole is not gonna spin. And if it does eventually, well, the engine would spin it for sure, but then it would shred up this seal, and then oil would come spewing out or something, and yeah, that'd be all bad. So it's not going in today. List of things to order: new gaskets for the exhaust, new seal for this, I think a bolt for the exhaust, and a new master cylinder for the clutch. So close, so close. All right, I'm freezing. My toes are starting to get cold, and I'm wearing Wolverine socks. So I'm gonna put this clip back in there. I'm gonna clean it up as best I can. Probably slap that back on, keep any dirt from getting there. And actually, no, leave it off for now. Probably clean up a little bit, make sure nothing's just strewn about everywhere, and call it a night. Oh, it's so cold. It's 36 degrees. Yeah, it's too cold. Oh. Too cold. I need to go inside. Quick update. I am freezing. It is 35 degrees outside and in here as well. Okay, so what I did was I pushed in with this and then turned it, and then suddenly it went in further, and now it spins freely. So then I was like, oh, okay. Put the cap on, spun, it was fine. So now I cleaned it off, put new sealer on there, put the cap on, or front cover, whatever you want to call it. This piece, it's on. I'm gonna let that sit for a while. So that's good. That saves me a whole bunch of problems and trouble and looking up seals that I don't need, or at least I hope I don't need. Forks, shift forks still over there. So if I put that back in, I am cold. So we are shutting down for the night. All right, we're just jumping into it. It is below 40 degrees and I am cold. I am wearing 4 layers here. I did get the gaskets. Hopefully these are correct. This one appears to be correct. This one appears to be correct too. I'm not really gonna check it right now. Okay, so we've got gaskets for those. He could not find the correct grease, so he just gave me some generic stuff. I didn't have the heart to tell him that I don't need this, but now I have more, if I ever do, or probably when I ever do. But the most important part was I got this. So hopefully this is good enough. It's just a Duralast brand, but we'll see. I don't know. It comes with a warranty, I would assume, and should function. If it dies on me, I should hopefully be able to just trade it in for a new one. Or another one, or just buy a better brand later. Okay. Hydraulic line to hook up there, and we should be good. I think this is accessible with it. Actually, this might be easier. Should I do this one first, or should I put the transmission in first? You know what? I think I do it before, because I don't know if I can reach that nut as easy with the transmission in. Anyways, I got a new sensor. Correct sensor. It is this number, and it is expensive. So this should be all set. I should be able to put it in the car. I want to get it as buttoned down as much as possible. Start bleeding the clutch system, maybe even, and we'll go from there. I think the battery's dead in the car, and I don't know if I have a jumper that will work for it right now, so we'll see. Actually, I should somewhere. So that bleeder valve's an 8, it looks like, or a very loose 8. Did I mention it's cold? It's cold. It's really cold. Cool. Throw our bearings in. Let's get the new sensor in. Dab of oil on the very end so it doesn't start dry. It fits perfectly as far as I can tell. Now let's not break this one. And it should just be tight enough. Okay, we're good there. Then this wire comes across. Okay. And that folds down. And we go across here. This wire also kind of lives over there, but for now, tuck them aside so they're out of the way. All right. And this should be ready to go in. Oh, what I fixed from last time, why I wasn't going in, I did this off stream, is I grabbed the shaft here and I pushed and twisted a little bit back and forth, and then it pushed all the way back in. So I did not need to replace that seal, thankfully, so I didn't order any of that, but it was like right after that stream. I was messing around with it, and it seated in all the way. So then I was able to put the cover on, and it still spins freely. I'm not gonna touch it right now because I don't wanna mess up the grease. So, yay. Toss this on there. Did I mention it's cold? All right, so where's my light? 10 fits on it nicely. Okay, so hopefully it's loose enough. That's pretty stuck. Grabbing my pillow. So it's also quite possible this part has been causing problems for a long time. As occasionally the clutch will get harder to push down, and you pump it a bunch, and I don't know. Maybe it was this, maybe not. I really don't know. Really don't want to strip that because that would be even bigger of a pain. Seriously. Oh wait, here it is. Okay, found it. It is freezing cold right now. I might regret this decision later, but I think we put the transmission in first, bolt this onto it, and then try to reach it around and use the transmission to brace it. Okay, so let's get the transmission on this. Last time, what seemed to work really well was it being on my chest and having the bell housing on my chest, and then the rest of it facing out. Let me make sure I can reach the bolts. Okay, and then I want to be able to stick a bolt in here. Yeah, it should be able to turn that. Okay, I should put the wood between me and it so it doesn't crush me. I bought a tool. Hopefully this jack will get it in there. I got a, whatchamacallit? Yes, a jack, a transmission jack. Yes. The cheapest one I could get from Harbor Freight. So hopefully it's good enough. I needed something low profile because of how much space I'm working with, and this seemed to fit the bill. So hopefully this will be able to hold the transmission in spot without having risk of it falling off the jack while I fiddle around with the transmission trying to get it to fit in the hole properly. I think this is one of the reasons I got this one. The others were just kind of like boxes, and this will actually ratchet down into it. Transmission goes here, and then stuff happens. Oh, that adjusts. Oh, well, let's get the transmission on this, see what happens. That rolls nicely. To lift. Okay, so I want it far enough forward so that I can still reach the holes. Oh man, that's nice. That's not gonna fall or anything, especially with the strap on. And I'm probably just gonna keep using this rig. What this is for is to tilt the engine back because there's no transmission pulling the transmission or the engine back, so it's tilted kind of too far up, especially once I try to mate the two surfaces together. So using this to push up the front end of the transmission or the engine, tilt it back down a little bit, and it kind of also prevents it from getting way off angle. This feels like it's going too easy. There's got to be something that's going to go wrong. Just barely doesn't clear there. All right, we can work with that. This is why I got a low profile one, because I don't have a lift. Almost there. There we go. Still colliding with the cat. I think ideally I would have taken out the cat. Okay. Wait. Alright, I think I'm gonna drop it and then tilt it up and then bring it back up. We'll undo these, right? Because then, yeah, okay. Then we need to tilt up, there we go. So I think I have this jacked up a little too high on the engine, so let's bring it down slightly. Nope. Shove it up a little bit. So that needs to, ouch, come up a little bit. Is that, yeah, it's colliding with a bracket. Dang brackets. That should be out of the way now. Nope. Ow. Does not want to stay straight up and down, that's for sure. And annoying. Choo-choo. It's close, but it's not even going in the first hole as far as I can tell. Keeps going cattywampus too. Which doesn't help line anything up. There it goes again. This jack was supposed to make things easier. Let me bring the front end of the engine down again a little more. Just see it from this angle, maybe I can figure out what's going on. It's at the point where it's, am I doing something entirely wrong? Like, did I put something, like a wrong clutch on? I mean, I don't. Oh. that felt good. Positive. Okay. We have engagement. We have engagement. Ah, yes, I pulled down on this end a little bit and wiggled it forward. That seemed to help. Or maybe I pushed up, I don't remember. Okay, so we have engagement, but we need to get on. We need to get on the, I think they're called dowels. No, we should. Okay, let me get a bolt on. Maybe that'll help line things up. Okay, come on, don't. Yeah, now the gasket's getting in the way of the bolts. Maybe not. So what's not lined up here? Go a little bit more that way. A little more this way. Yep. Oh, sorry. Bopping hard there. But you protected my head there from getting bopped, so I don't know. You take one for the team. Appreciate it. Okay, before we get too tight, go this round. Okay, keep going. And there it is. Ah, finally. It's in with one bolt, but it's in. The top half is still not like pushed in all the way, but I think if we get a couple more bolts in, that should even out. I think I can even remove the jack now. I'm kind of nervous too. Let me get another bolt or two up top. First, where is my super suit? There it is. Let's see, this one had some sealant on it for some reason. There's no reason for this one to have sealant. Not that I can tell. That's a through hole, yeah. I guess I should put maybe a drop of blue on it. Network error. Network error. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Sorry about that. You guys missed me actually getting it in then. It's in most of the way on one bolt, on a bottom bolt, and the top end's a little lean forward, so it might need a. So we're almost there. We're almost there, but it's positive. It's in there, sorta. Oh well. Oh, that's right. Oh. Not much, because I don't think it needs much. Just enough. Gotta lift up on the back end a little bit here, I guess. Come on, start. Does not want to start. Well, it's not going in. What? Okay, what I'm gonna do then, I'm gonna back out this one slightly. And I'm going to remove the strap here. Okay, so now that's free. Oh, say it ain't so. Yeah, that top end is not in whatsoever it seems. Okay, in that case, I'm like really close then. Let's back this side even further. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get one of those top bolts in. That way I can pull up on it. A dab of glue, not much. I'm going to bring this further back and then jack it up a little bit more, which I can't really do because it's stuck now. That might be started. Hard to tell. Oh. Okay, I think that's started. Let's see if I can tighten it down now. Okay. I don't even know if I'm spinning it at this point. I don't know if I'm fully engaged on the bolt. So 13, 14, 17. Oh, and a little pivot thing. Okay, come on, fit on the bolt. There it is. Okay, it's on the bolt. There we go. Don't fall. Okay. Yeah, this one has more teeth. There's some resistance there. Does not seem to be in. For whatever reason, the last couple millimeters are elusive. I have 2 bolts in. I mean, it should be lined up. Start tucking this one down a little bit. Maybe I can bring it evenly in. I need like another extension on this, I think. Would make it easier. Setting it on fire? That sounds fun. Yeah, it's a great idea. We'll set it on fire. I like the way you think. That way it will get so hot, all the bolts would go in so easily. Perfect idea. Okay. Now we have all this length to get stuck on other things, but I don't know if I'm going in or if I'm spinning at this point. I think I'm going in. No, I have no idea. Alright, I'm gonna remove the jack because I think this is as much as it's gonna be able to do right now anyways. That was worth $140, $130 I spent on it, I think. Oh man, those are nice casters. They just slide. Nice, okay, cool. Not cool, that just came out of wherever it was supposed to be. Great. So now, we seem to be on. It's definitely pulling the engine down now. Alright. I have no idea what these are supposed to be torqued down to, but I'd say good and tight. At the very least. That's 2 bolts in. That means the transmission is mated. Yay. So much more work to go. That was the most difficult part, probably, or one of the most difficult parts. I probably shouldn't say it is yet because I still have yet to deal with the exhaust. But hey, it's in there. So let's try to get all the bolts in for it, and of course the starter, because the starter's out right now. And oh yeah, the clutch. Actually, no, let me check out the clutch first before we do anything else. Or not the clutch, the slave cylinder. The clutch slaved cylinder. I stuffed it way back in here to get out of the way. Stuck, I think. Hopefully I have enough room in there to get to that. Was it a 10? Whoopsie. Good thing it's getting replaced anyways. Well, okay, so at the very least I can pull it down here. Hopefully I'm not causing a tear up any further up, but get this one off somehow. And it's still stuck. Okay. What I was hoping was I would be able to mount it to the transmission and then deal with it that way, but it seems to be a lost dream at this point. So this is getting replaced anyways. So if I do this, nope. Try again. Oh, that might bend it. Yeah, there we go. If I was using this again, that would be a problem, but since I'm not, and again, I really hope I didn't kink up the lines or messed up the rubber hose up above it. Out with the old, in with the new. That off, and we slap this together. This kind of work needs two hands that can feel. And I'd love to be able to start up the car and go through all the gears tonight, but I don't think we're going to be able to get to that point tonight. But we'll get as far as we can. Might start working on it again tomorrow morning or noonish, because tomorrow evening spending some time with the family. Got some grandparents coming over at the parents' place, and maybe making Christmas cookies, which involves galaxy cookies, sugar cookies, frosted sugar cookies. Yeah. Lots of yummy stuff. Now, before I tighten that down all the way, I want to try to get it to where it needs to be. Might not be able to do that until I get the starter in place with all these brackets everywhere. Yeah, let me get the starter in place first. And you know what? The starter might be easier to access from the side. So let's take the wheel off. All right. Oh wait, it's gonna spin. Never mind. We'll just turn the wheel. That gives me a little bit of access. I'll grab another light. Okay, so here's the starter. It's just kind of sitting here. Need to figure out how to get it back into its hole. Do a little bit of cleanup. Oh, ow. Alright, now we go back under the car. Let's see. So it needs to go up in there somehow. Oh, everything's tangled up over here. That was probably a very important bracket. I have no idea where it goes or how it goes. Great. So we have a clutch line, we have brake lines, we have a wire harness, and we have a starter and its wires, all in this tiny little spot, all competing for the same space. I don't even know how to begin with this. I can't even get a good angle to see and get this in there. Bring me back. I am extremely annoyed with GoPro and its software and its patheticness. That time the battery did die, but setting up a stream for the GoPro again is just ridiculous at this point. Breaker bar, even. Alright, let's see if I can get the wheel to hold still. Not on the tire stem, please. That might work. So the problem with the starter is that I don't know how it goes in there. I just spin the other way. Duh. Because I just took the bolts out, then took the transmission out, and it kind of fell out at some point during that process. So I don't really know how it goes in. Now I have more space to see things. Let me tilt you guys up a little bit because I don't really know how much y'all will be able to see of this. I would feel better if I had a secondary jack on this side. There we go. And let's take a peek in here. Uh-huh. That goes in there. That's all I know. Okay. I should be able to reach it better now, though, I think. There we go. Hey, I'm back. Sorry. It does that. I don't know why. You have 87% battery, so it did not die or anything. It just stopped. I hate whatever causes this. I think GoPro just has some of the worst software. Does not stay running. That is frustrating. That pulls me away from whatever I'm doing just to fix this every single time. I need to find a better solution to stream the camera. Fighting the other side of this because I think that bracket's supposed to be up front and it's not going front for some reason. Ow. Oh hey, I think we got it. At least partially. And I knocked down my other light. Dang, damn it. I really wish lighting was not so difficult when you work on cars. This needs to go further up, I think. And this needs to go down. No. No, it needs to go up. Oh, my muscles are so worn out. Okay. So that bracket goes back here. I can't fit that bracket in right now because the top one is just not, doesn't know where it wants to be. And I don't know how to help it. Pull it up from here. It goes up from here. That's too far forward, so maybe it does go behind it, which doesn't make sense, but whatever at this point. Okay, that bent at some point, so now that's not even going to line up with what it needs to go to, even remotely. Which makes it more difficult to find out where it's supposed to be going. Not that I can see it. So I think in my effort of bending this out of the way to get the transmission in, I've bent the line in such a way that I can't any longer tell where it's supposed to be or how it's supposed to be there. So that's a problem. So I'm pretty sure this needs to be on this side of it. If I can do that. Hello? No, I can't because it goes straight up. Which means it has to go below it. Because this needs to go in that hole. And this, no, it doesn't go below it because it held it. What in the world? So this bolt holds the wire harness here. See if I can get it to stick a little bit. Yeah, whatever. And then the light shines in my face because that's what it's designed to do. And then, so then this would push the wire harness up, which is why it's entangled with it. But to what end? There's no, well, there is a bolt there. Okay, so maybe it lines up with that one. Okay, I think I can work with this. I think I got, okay. Now, would be the higher bolt. This thread locker, which is out of my reach. Oh, come on. We're getting there. Okay, we got another thread locker on it. And we stuff this in here, right? Right? Stuff it in that hole and then shove it in this hole and hopefully that goes through. And I actually do not know what size this is. I think it's a 12 or 14. Threads are engaged. I'm not sure what y'all are looking at right now, but I can't see it either, so don't worry about it. Still spinning. I don't think we have thread engagement. Okay, what's going on? So I think it's because the starter's still slacking out. Yeah, so we just push the starter up into it, and it should have something to engage with now, right? So engage with something. I don't know if it's right. Check, make sure it's not cross-threading. Okay, let's figure out what sizes these are. They're 12. The swivel thingy. Okay. All right. Reach up in here. Could use a little bit more length. We don't have a little bit more length, we have a lot more. Let's try that. All right, a lot more length. Shove it on there and start spinning. Okay, so that's still on there loose, but it's engaged enough it's not coming out. So now I can shove this up and almost line it up. So let's get that other bracket shoved in place. And I think we're gonna have to take a bolt thing out again. Yeah. Hey, okay, let's grab a. It's an 18, but it might be enough. I cannot reach it. With both hands. Okay. That's out again. Pop this bolt out. Spin the light around. Line up this bracket. And shove this bolt back in. Okay, and we somehow fish this together. Oh, and there we go again. The nut back on. I think we should, just in case. add a small dot to it. Squeeze. And then we get the nut on. So again, that's on there loosely, but tight enough to stay. All right, now let's get the slave clutch lined up and put the little peg in the thing. Now I've realized I need the bolts for it. Okay, these bolts, right? Maybe, I think. These we're gonna add a very small amount of glue on. A little dot on each. I mean, it's not as small as I was trying to do it, because they'd be a pain to get back out, but we don't want them to shake out either, so try to fish one in. Okay, first one started. This one in nice and easy. Whoop. That's where it about needs to be. So if I can tighten that flange nut or whatever it is, now that would be great. Okay, it looks like I can reach it from the wheel well. Just barely reach it from the wheel well. I need like something to rest my head on. Oh, grab this. Ugh. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a great pillow. All right. And tight. I want it good and tight. That's good and tight. All right. Definitely don't want to strip it. And let's tighten these smaller bolts here if we can. So where's my 12? Wait. And this is a 12. Perfect. And again, we're going into aluminum, so we don't want it like ridiculously tight, just tight enough. All right, so now let's clean up this clutch fluid, which is really just brake fluid, .3 brake fluid, off the stuff, because that will corrode and eat away at paint. Actually, before I do that, this bracket here, this little bit to the end, the little part that goes up, I think that holds on to a part of the wire harness right there, which would maybe go on maybe like this, I think, the way it looks up there. And it looks like it goes on that, I think. It's kind of a loose fit on it. But the witness marks match up pretty well. Yeah, so I think this is the last piece there. Good enough. Okay, so this will go on that one, I think, like that. Almost like that. I'm paranoid about the camera now. Fill out. Okay. Try to get that where it needs to be. Then put the bolt in. That looks about right. And I think we got some thread engagement there. Yep, okay, cool. So while it's still loose, try to reattach it to the wire harness. Try if I can even feel anything with my cold fingers. Yeah, it definitely seems to go on there. It's really far up there though, so it's kind of hard to reach. I need something to support my back now, so I can... Alright, now I have no support for my neck, but a whole bunch of support for my back, so... So my head's way far back, so I don't worry, I can't see what I'm doing either. But I can feel, sorta, what I'm doing. Bracket's reattached to the wire harness. I'm taking gloves off, I can't feel it enough. And And it might actually be broken, so it might actually not hold very well. You know what? That seems to be on it. It's probably as good as it's gonna get. All right, cool. So now, we tighten a whole bunch of bolts that we just put in. I think we'll start with the 12s, because yeah, this is what it's like to be a hobbyist mechanic without a lift. Everything's everywhere. Nothing's as easy as you hope. You're gonna get long, man. Ah, here we go. So once the starter's in, I should get out and get that fluid cleaner, brake cleaner stuff in here and clean up that area. And also put the, there's one bolt. Put the battery charger back on, see if it was just shorting out or something. Getting it good and in there for now. So those two are tight. Now we need to figure out what size these nuts are. That's a 14. 14. Oh, battery's going out on the light. Not, oh, what this is, no, spin it. Okay. And reach with this. Somehow, with both hands. I can't see again. Okay, got it. All right, that's on. Whew. What's left on the, we have 3 bolts on here, so we have 4 more bolts to put in. These should all be 17s. There's the hole. Found the hole. Okay, good. Wasn't as far back as I thought, or forward, or whatever. Good, because my fingers are getting really tired. Okay. That's in. I want to keep going, but I gotta do the thing first. Okay. Where's the spray can? Okay, well, we'll plug in the battery then. So I got this thing here. And that's on AGM, 12 volts. This battery is an AGM type battery, so I'll let that sit and hopefully it doesn't fail this time. It is, of course it did this again. All right, we're back. Ooh, it feels colder now. Okay, probably laying on the ground. It's kind of cold. Let's add a little bit of insulation here. Can I reach it from over here? Yeah. Oh, I'm a genius. So this should be the clutch fill cap. And we just put some regular .3 brake fluid in there. Yeah, there's plenty of bubbles in the system, and we have to air it out and stuff. So I might get an assistant to do that later with me. For now, put that in there. So we'll go ahead and try to engage the clutch a little bit here. Oh, that's hard to push. Oh, I forgot. I might have to actually adjust the pedal. Oh wait, that's the brake pedal. I'm silly. No wonder. Clutch pedal has nothing to it. Okay. Yeah, that's not doing a darn thing. It might be leaking. I wonder if the bleeder valve is not even closed. Oh, that's dry. I will need an assistant. I might need to get one of those vacuum things for this. I need to look up how to adjust the pedal and properly lead the clutch system and all that. It is getting colder. Oh, got a free bucket when I bought that jack, the transmission jack. I got a free bucket. So I don't know, some kind of deal they're going for. And you know what? I should probably work on getting that downpipe back in next, because I don't know about the old bolts and stuff. I should clean up this brake clean though, because that would burn me. It would not feel good, and it's cold and it won't, so it's not drying as fast. So you want to figure out how to put this back in. And then this clamps around this part. Oh, well, it's supposed to separate here. Huh, okay, so then this goes to the transmission. And then this here with a long bolt going all the way through. Squeeze this back together. Where'd that long bolt go? I don't know. I was gonna replace it, but I might be able to get away with using the old one. All right, so I had to chop off the very end of this, but there was still enough thread engagement to hold it in place, so it might be enough. Had I known this, I'd probably just have tried to fish this off this piece. Cleaned it pretty nicely, actually. All right. I'm slowing down. I'm getting cold. Grab a piece of exhaust. Shine the light on my face. Shine light everywhere but where it should be pointing. Up this jack stand and try to hold it up a little bit higher. I might have to either separate these pieces or take the sensor out. Neither of which I want to do. Alright, so I don't want to take it out, but I put the sensor down here and then spun it around up through the bottom like that. In there. Cool. Throw it on the ground so both sides get covered in dirt, because just for good measure, make sure it leaks, you know. Shine the light into the ground and your face a whole bunch more times, because that's just good luck at this point. So I need to get this over there. These might be replacement bolts from some other time. Excuse me. Gasket, stop falling. I can't see. Nut on the back end of this so it doesn't fall. I need the gloves on because I don't want to scratch up my hands anymore. But with them on, I can't feel as well for the hole. And since I can't see, knowing where stuff is kind of important at this point. Something fell, but it's okay. I think we have thread engagement. Baby, it's cold in here. I think originally all three of these threaded in, but the threads might be messed up and someone had to replace them with skinnier bolts. And we have thread engagement. Let's get the last one started. All right, and we're good. I hope. Just need to tighten it down. Yeah, yes, the replacement bolts are 13s. Okay, that's in there. That's all one piece pretty much. Cool. Now that exhaust is in, for the most part, we have this clamp to deal with. Probably from the factory like that. So gonna add a little bit of paint to this just to cover the surface here. Not really worried about it. Doing a great job, just putting a little bit on there. Ideally, I would cut the nut off here and use a new nut. But this is spot welded on, so I'm not dealing with that. Still charging. Cool. Okay, I think we fixed the problem with that. It's probably draining because of because of one of the posts on the starter were shorting to ground. Oh, it's cold. My toes are now cold. Making good progress. So that's all that matters, and I'm freezing. Give me a second here. How cold is it? 35 degrees Fahrenheit. That is too cold. Not quite freezing yet, but definitely too cold to be lying on the cold ground and barely moving. All right, let's get this bracket on. Okay, there we go. Lines up over there. You know what? I might as well do that. So this can be on hold for the time being until I get that bolt, probably tomorrow if I can. I can put these in, put all that in. I'm gonna clean all this up and probably add some of that strong rust encapsulator paint. Scuff it up a little bit and add that to the K-member here. We definitely scuffed it up quite a bit when I was putting in the transmission. I might do the same for the brake lines a little bit over there. I don't know, it's coming together. I probably should start cleaning up, but I just don't want to stop. I want to keep going. I want to get this together. So we got a bolt here that's supposed to hold the wire harness. That might actually be stripped. If we can, I'd like to rehook up these connectors. That'd be a bad contact point. The new ends are fine. Okay, hello. We'll use some electrical cleaner. Yeah, a small wired brush, here we go. Because this electric cleaner stuff's supposed to dry super fast. I don't think the white ones really matter which one goes where. We got the black one. And then the green one we're leaving for now until we get the rear end. I think that's all in. So now, let's see if I can get this wire up in there. This is for a oxygen sensor, I think. Alright. So this connects up here. Okay, and it wrapped around, that little thing wrapped around it to hold it. And there was a little clip on this side, but I don't know. Down here, yeah. There it is. I don't even know where that goes. If I can even reach it. I might end up zip tying that up because I don't want it to come into contact with the exhaust at all, and it doesn't seem to latch on anywhere anymore. Where are my zip ties? Because if I don't deal with this now, I probably forget about it later. Ugh. Ow. Yeah, we don't need it tight or anything, we just need to hold on to it. Okay, I think that's as far as we're gonna get today. Or tonight. I need to buy a replacement bolts for this. It'll be slightly longer because I cut this one off. That one bolt that's still missing. So while I'm cleaning up, I'll probably find that last bolt and I might throw that back in tonight. All right, let's go ahead and throw these bolts in. Like just a little bit. Maybe this one did get cross-threaded at some point. That's unfortunate. Today, went to the store, got some stuff, got a brake bleeder set kit. I wanted to do a reverse one, but those are all in back order right now. Anyways, picked up new bolts. I ordered them and then went in to pick them up, or curbside pickup. I didn't realize that they're not threaded all the way down there. So hope that that's enough thread engagement for it to hold. And then we got this to work on the clutch. Put this on here and then we can bleed it by pulling. It is warmer than last night, but it is still pretty cold. Unfortunately, my hands are pretty beat up. That's so annoying. Vacuum leak up here, but at this point, let's see if it even pulls anything from here. It's pulling bubbles, but I don't know if it's pulling it from the thing or if it's pulling it from the air. Nothing wants to work right now, and it's extremely frustrating. It's not building. Maybe there it is. It might be enough to test it. I'm not entirely sure. I'd like to have someone push it all the way down. Maybe under there, see if it actually moves or not. It's stiffed up at least. Maybe it is working, I don't know. If it's working good enough for now. So now we deal with this bracket. How? Okay, so it is through. It's just not reaching the threads at this point, I think.